Happy June, everybody. Boy, is it happy. And guess what we get to get rid of? Well, actually, don't get rid of your mask just yet. Invariably, you're gonna have one of those old corks that kind of crumbles and gets in the bottle. And just kind of put this over your glass, pour your wine through it. Maybe you should use your coffee filter, but at least that's a good use of these things. Yay, and congratulations to everybody watching this video. We made it. Hey, June is also a really fun month in that we have the Francione family's Sierra Mar Chardonnay and Pinot Noir release, as well as the Francione and Pisoni family's Gary's Vineyard release. So we're gonna go taste our Chardonnay and from the Sierra Mar and the Pinot Noirs from both Sierra Mar and Gary's right now. I'll tell you a few stories. And if you've been to the winery, you've seen a little bit of renovation going on, and one of those renovations was in my office, so let you in on a new secret hiding place in my office. Voila. I hope everybody has a hidden vault full of cash, but I have one filled with some yellow gold in the form of Sierra Mar Vineyard Chardonnay and some Sierra Mar Vineyard Pinot Noir and some Gary's Vineyard Pinot Noir. So we're gonna open these up. We're gonna open these up and try them. If you're anything like Diana and I, you love to start your evening of fine food and wine with a nice glass of Chardonnay. One of the things, if you zoom in on the video, you may have noticed in my wine fridge here, it's a dual zone wine fridge. So the upper zone is at 45 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's the temperature that we like to store our Chardonnay. A regular refrigerator will store it, 32, 33, 34. And that's just so cold that it just doesn't allow those beautiful aromas. These are not inexpensive bottles of wine, you know that. But you want to have those, just enough chill on it to be fresh, but just enough non-chill on it so the aromas come out. Boy, the color on this, Oh. This is one of my favorite parts of the job is I have to drink on the job. Hopefully you don't have to do that, but at least one of us does. Oh, the honey right off the bat. Oh, the beautiful sweet oak, of course the citrus character. Francione families, this is the fifth of the crown jewels, if you will, of Francione and Pisoni families, starting with the Pisoni Vineyard in the early 1990s, and then the Gary's and Rosella's Vineyard coming online in 1999 when we both started working with those both of those vineyards, and then later on became the Sobranos Vineyard, which is adjoining Gary's. And then this is the fifth jewel in the crown, the Sierra Mar Vineyard. It's actually about halfway between the Doctor's Vineyard, which is known and loved here at Testarossa, and the Pisoni Vineyard. So it kind of has a lot of that same Southern Appalachian character, a little more density, and then this is a higher elevation. The acidity on this, if you've ever had a chance to go to the vineyard, if not, go to the Francione's Roar website, and they have a whole outline of the vineyard. It's very high elevation. They put in some very expensive pumps and wells way, 3 miles down the road on Foothold Road. Very expensive to run those pumps to get the water up to these vineyards. The vineyards they were just grazing land. I mean, fantastic soil, but without any water, there's just really not a whole lot you can do with it. But boy, the structure on this, we've been enjoying some of our 10, 12, even 13-year-old Chardonnays, and this is going to be clearly a 10, maybe even 15-year ager if you have the opportunity. Oh, but it's so good right now. And the 19 vintage, yum, yum, yum. So the next bottle I'm going to open is the Sierra Mar Vineyard Pinot Noir. The Francione family has been farming grapes for more than 30 years, and we've been so glad to be working with them. First meeting the Franciones and Gary Pisoni in the mid 1990s. I'm not sure why they sold to this fledgling little winery, but boy, we're certainly glad they did. It's really fun too that the Francione family is a multi-generational farming family, and that generational continuation is moving forward, I should say, in that Gary Francione and Rosella Francione's two sons, Nick and Adam, are now taking leadership roles and learning from their dad. So here we have the 2019 Sierra Mar Pinot Noir, Sierra Mar Vineyard. And this, if you were able to look closely, we have our red wine fridge or our regular wine cellar set at 58 degrees Fahrenheit. That's classic cellar temperature. The old adage of, oh, you serve red wine at room temperature. Well, that was really apropos in the 17th and 18th century, where a warm room was considered 60 degrees Fahrenheit. But now, most of us have the opportunity to be a little more comfortable. So the problem with serving a red wine too warm is the alcohol ends up volatilizing too much alcohol out, then you lose those real fruity, fresh aromas. So if you have that opportunity, kind of that mid to high 50s is a great place to start. And if the bottle's too warm, throw it in an ice bucket for red wine. Throw it in an ice bucket for 5 or 10 minutes, and bring it chilled down if you can. Just first thing off the bat, boy, the color on this. Knowing how hard it is to farm, the different little subplots that they have, the different knoll tops. It can take 20 minutes to drive from one block to the next, just because of how up and circuitous that the vineyard rows are. But the Francione family has never shied away from working hard. They saw the passion, the quality potential in this land. I said, doesn't matter how hard it takes to work, we're going to go make some amazing wines. And boy, have they. Oh, the nose, oof, man. Certainly when you get these bottles, highly encourage you to open one within the first few weeks you get it, so you know what it's like when it's fresh. And then if you have more than a couple of bottles, drink one in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years, and really see how it evolves. And just the ageability on this is clear, very clear right off the bat. Oh, wow. Bill Brousseau, his ability to make beautiful wines that are approachable when young, that mouthfeel, that silky texture, yet I can still feel the acidity, the tannins. But they're so fine tannins. That's just, Diana made some pork chops last night with a little rosemary and garlic. Boy, this wine, I hope she's gonna make that again soon, because I'm gonna have that with this wine. Oh my goodness. But the nose on it, just really dark red fruits. But boy, yeah, that texture. If you like Doctors and you like Busoni, well, this is going to be right in that same corral. Now I'm not dumping this out. I'm just dumping it in another glass, so I can use this same glass. And we're going to try. I've never done this one before, so hopefully I won't embarrass myself. But we're going to try this historic replica wine cork that's on my wall behind me. It was given to me as a gift from a longtime friend, and she didn't know what to do with it, so she said, "Hey Rob, I bet you'd like this." So we have this corkscrew. I screw the worm in. Let's see, get it up here. Now, in theory, I put this on the machine. Oops, ooh, earthquake. No, I just hit the table with my knee. Fooled you. Get this up on here. And with a little luck, cork. And I even got a little pop. So, hey, you got to witness the first time I got to use this historic corkscrew. So, Gary's Vineyard 2019. This is the 21st vintage that we've been doing Gary's. Back in 1997, I first met Gary Pisoni, and he introduced us to Gary Francione. Gary Pisoni took us over to the new Gary's Vineyard. Now that is two Garys. It is Gary Pisoni and Gary Francione, who are boyhood friends, and it's very important when you go to a wine or a restaurant that when you look at Gary's, the apostrophe is after the S, and that's because the word is both plural, because there's two Garys, and possessive. Can't tell you how many times I've seen people, that's probably their auto spell check, switched it to Gary's single, and I always say, well, which Gary are you leaving out? And they don't know what I'm talking about. So now you're in the know. So make sure that they have it spelled correctly, and you can help fix some wine lists. Now, of course, this Gary's first planted in 1996. I first stepped foot in the vineyard when it was just rootstock in early 1997. So it was just a bare dirt field with a bunch of tiny little sticks, mounds of dirt sticking around. And Elias, the first vineyard manager there, had a string of dead gophers over the road. It kind of looked like something out of an apocalyptic movie. But that was the farm workers' way to show other gophers that this will be your fate if you step into this vineyard. If you've ever seen one of the opening scenes of the original Pirates of the Caribbean, that was kind of the same idea. So we'll see if we can find that picture for you. It's kind of fun. Now, of course, right off the bat, boy, the beautiful Pinot color. Oh, just so elegant. It's, I would say, just much more of a almost classic European Pinot Noir, where we've got beautiful aromas, floral characters, just silky smooth. Not quite as dense as the CRMR, but CRMR is up higher, lower yields because there's lower water in the soil. But I'd say this is more elegant. So, boy, a cedar plank salmon, something like that. Mushroom-based vegetarian dish. Boy, and the tannins on this are also just super silky. Wow, boy, so that is just really fun. So we've been working with the Francione and Pisoni families, as I said, for in our third decade. We're so thrilled that working with the Gary's Vineyard in particular since 1999, and now with CRMR, that Mark Pisoni and Gary Francione and now his sons really support us doing experimentation on how we can, whether it's watering or leaf pulling, fruit dropping, different fertigation techniques, just how can we all make it better? And that's the partnership that we so enjoy from a grower and winemaker, winery perspective. Many of you know that the Sobranos Vineyard is adjacent to the Gary's Vineyard. And those of you who have been fortunate enough to go on some of our vineyard trips, which we are hoping to start up again after the pandemic is really completely over, probably next year, just we're still kind of reeling from things, there used to be a prickly pear farm right next door to the Gary's Vineyard as you drove in. Well, that prickly pear cactus farm is no longer there. Can anybody guess what crop is growing there now? I'll give you a hint. Yep, some of your favorite families are growing some more grapes, and we're so proud that we're one of only 2 wineries outside of the Francione and Pisoni family to get all 5 of the crown jewels, the Pisoni, Gary's, Rosellas, CRMR, and Sobranos, Vineyard Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs, or Pinot Chardonnays where they're grown. So we're very excited to see what's next in that realm. So these are also very limited. 8 barrels of the CRMR Vineyard Pinot Noir, 25 barrels of the Gary, so that's a little bit more, but 12 barrels of the CRMR Vineyard Chardonnay. And the Pinot Noirs in particular, buy them up because the 2020 vintages of those 2 Pinot Noirs didn't get picked. There was some bad smoke from the fires from 2020. So 2020 was not only a pandemic year, but it was also a fire year. So any of the vineyards that were affected by smoke, the growers didn't even ask us if we wanted them. They just said, nope, we're not picking them. It's just, we've spent decades developing our reputation and we're not going to take a risk on that. So these 2019s, this is a fantastic vintage, very low quantities. So make sure you get as many bottles as you can. So now a little hint, I think some of you already know, we have actually, in anticipation of knowing what happened with the 2020 vintage Pinot Noirs, particularly in the St. Lucie Highlands and Russian River Valley, we have held back quite a few library wines from 2017, 18, and 19, which we'll be re-releasing in the slots that we would normally have seen your 2020 Pinot Noirs. So don't worry, there will be wine, but there will be a lot less of it. So those of you who are first in line to get the good stuff, make sure you get as much as you can. Hey, thank you for your support. Diane and I, Bill, the entire team, we're so thrilled. We're doing some big improvements at the winery if you're able to make it out here. But if you're not, we've never taken one step back in the winemaking. We kept the winemaking team intact throughout the pandemic. So the quality of the wine, the quality of the glass is uncompromised. So passion in every glass is what we say. It starts with the passion of the growers, the passion of the pickers, the passion of the winemaking team, the passion of our team here at the winery who work with you to get the bottles to your home, and of course the passion you have to put that on your table and share with your friends and family. Thank you for your support. It's been one hell of a 18 months, and the next 18 months we're going to make up for it. Hey, have a great month. Enjoy. Cheers.